Pretty, huh? Another day comes to a close here in December, and we're coming up on Christmas this weekend, so we got a couple more days to go. As you can see, we got some snow. I don't know if it's going to be a white Christmas though, because it's supposed to warm up. It's actually warmed up quite a bit this morning. It was 18 degrees, and I think it's like 45 right now. So it's I mean, I'm not wearing a coat. It's cool out, but it's not freezing cold like it was this morning. But yeah, what a beautiful evening, and such pretty sunsets. I love the sunsets. But that wraps up a day here. Let's see, it's middle of the week, so what do we got? 4 more days till Christmas. What are my plans for Christmas? Well, that's a good question. I've been feeding the birds, and they've been eating pretty hardly out there. Is the bird buffet today? They were tons of birds out there just going at it. Cleaned out my seed that I put out there, and I had put quite a bit out there today. But anyway, back to what are my plans for Christmas. Uh, Last weekend, I actually went to church for the first time in years. And I don't know what really inspired me. I just thought, rather than sit around on Sunday, I had no other plans. I thought, well, there is a church that I'd like to try out. So I went to the huge, huge church here in town. Probably one of the bigger churches that I've ever been in. And they had a real modern stage down in the front, and a band that was phenomenal. They had a male lead vocalist, and he was really a good singer. And then there was two females, one on each side of him, and they had really beautiful voices too, and a full band to back them up, the drum set and the whole thing. So the music was pretty good. And of course, the sermon or the message was just on the story of the birth of Christ, Jesus. So that was okay. Will I go back to that church again? I don't know. I think I might try something else. But there was a church about 45 minutes from here that Val and I always went to. And it's a pretty big church, but it's a really nice church, and it's the preacher there gives a really good message every time he talks. He's a really good speaker, and he's a real cool guy, and I really like him, and Val liked him, and some friends of mine like him too. My daughter has gone there. So I checked for the Christmas Eve service, and I think they have like 6 or maybe even more services just for the Christmas Eve. So they start on Friday, and then they go on Saturday, Sunday, and so on Sunday there was 3 Christmas Eve services, and I was able to, and you had to have reservations too. That's how popular this place is, because they sell out. And I was able to get a ticket for Christmas Eve in the morning, so I'm going to have to, skedaddle out of here in the morning, drive all the way over there, and enjoy their Christmas presentation, which is always really phenomenal. I don't know if you've ever gone to a Christmas Eve service at any church. A lot of them do the candlelight, where they light the candles, and it's real special. It's very, very special. And if you haven't, even if you don't go to church at all, try going to church on Christmas Eve sometime. And I think you'll be surprised. I think just about any church, it just seems to be a very holy time, and it's just a time to really start new with yourself, and refresh your spirituality. So anyway, I got that going on. So there you go. So I'll go to church two weekends in a row. That's pretty good. Now, why haven't I been going? Well, after V started getting sick, it was just too much. And we tried going to some local churches that weren't so far to drive, but we didn't care for them at all. So we pretty much said, well, it was too much for her to drive all the way to the other church and back on Sundays. And it just got to the point where she couldn't even hardly leave the house without, using a walker or a wheelchair or something like that. So for years, we just quit going to church and didn't do it. That doesn't mean that I stopped believing in my spirituality, that I stopped believing in Jesus. I just didn't go to church. Still read my Bible and still pray a lot, and still have a open communication line with Jesus. So that keeps me in line. As far as church goes, though, there's so many different ones that you, and each one has its own personality, and not all of them are, may not be of your liking at all. I know they're not of my liking. I went to one, and they wanted us to take classes. So Val and I said, okay, well, we'll try taking these classes, So we took the first class, and it was okay. It was just kind of a basic, kind of an understanding about what, being a Christian is all about. And then each class kind of jumped up a notch. And so we were on like the third class, and they were getting a little more, I guess, more in-depth, detailed, and pushing more towards missions, which means they wanted you to go out in, wherever they would place you if you wanted. And they wanted both of us to sign a contract. Now, I've never heard of that before, and I wasn't about to sign a contract. I don't care where I am, but in church, sign a contract? I don't need to sign a contract. Not with my Jesus. He never said anywhere in the Bible about signing any contracts. And then what would happen once we signed our name to that? Are we committed to be? I mean, it's almost like a cult. Like, now you signed the contract. You committed to this now, and it's like, no, I don't think so. Now, way back in the day, I went to a Baptist church, and it was kind of old school, the pews that you'd sit on, and thankfully they had cushions on the pews, because when I was a kid, the Baptist church we went to had the wooden pews, the hard wooden pews. Try sitting there for an hour on a hard wooden bench. Whew, boy, that really, yeah, it was tough sitting through a sermon sometimes, but sitting on a hard wooden bench made it even worse. But then after I got married and had a family, we went to this Baptist church, and I got pretty involved in the church. I was doing all kinds of things in that church, and it seemed like the more I did, the more they wanted of me. So we would always go to church on Sunday. We'd go early because we'd go to Sunday school, which are some classes before the actual church service. And then you go to the sanctuary, and you have the actual service where you sing the hymns out of the old hymnal, and the preacher got up there and preached a message, and then you went home. But there were social events too. But then they'd have Wednesday prayer meetings. They'd have Thursday choir practice. They'd have special presentations. And they always wanted me to help with that. They put on a huge Christmas production one year. A huge stage production. And of course I was enlisted because of my skills. So I had to build the stage sets, and there was probably about 4 or 5 different sets that were changed around as the play went on. You know, they'd dim the lights down and they'd change the set, and then they'd bring the lights back up, and it would be a completely different scene. So they'd had these big canvas backdrops that they'd roll down, and I had to paint those. So I had to lay them out on the floor in one of the rooms there, and I painted them with a roller. I had to paint like the village of Bethlehem on one mural. I don't remember. I had to paint like a desert scene on the other one, some mountains. There was a couple different scenes that could be changed. So that kept me, anyways, that church kept me so busy that I was constantly, I mean, I go to work, come home from work, eat dinner, and I have to go right back up to church. Like 3 or 4 days a week. And that got old after a while, because you wonder, okay, there's a bunch of other people in this church. Where are they? How come I'm the only one up here doing all of this stuff? I guess I'm real easygoing. You know, it doesn't take much to enlist my help. If somebody needs help, I usually jump in, and I'm there to help. But anyway, I don't know that I'm committed to finding another church, but I think I would like to poke around a little bit and see what's out there, and maybe I'll find one that I really like. You know, and for me, it's a social thing too, because I mean, look where I'm at right now. I'm sitting in this log house by myself, out in the middle of nature. There's nobody around. I got nobody to talk to. No, you know. It's like this every day. So I need more social interactions. I need to do things now. I mean, I did go out hiking with Buzz this morning, but, you know, I don't know. That's fun too, but I need more. I need more social activity. So anyway, I hope you're ready for Christmas. I hope you're going to have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I think next time you hear from me, it'll be Christmas Eve. I don't know how much of a video I'm going to do. I might just wish you a Merry Christmas and leave it at that. You know, V and I always did that, and I got to keep up the tradition. So, but right now I gotta figure out what I'm going to scrape up for dinner and call it an evening. Well, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't yet. Please subscribe to my videos. Till next time, I will catch you guys later.